Hey guys, Chris here from ASM Scholarships and the ASM Sports Group. Welcome back if you're a regular YouTube subscriber to our channel, and if you're new to the channel, welcome for the very first time. We're going to be talking about today when is the perfect time to start the recruitment process so you guys get the best possible scholarships, and really give you some really good statistics from the NCAA, explain to you how many scholarships there are, and we're then going to give you some tips on how to actually get these scholarships and when you should really be starting this process. So we'll get straight into this. We're going to talk about maybe the NCAA today, not the NIA or the NJCAA or the Triple CAA, because really the NCAA is where the pinnacle of all athletes end up, and that's where everybody wants to seem to go to school. So we want to focus really on those statistics for you today. So in the NCAA, we first have to understand, so you understand how many scholarships are and how these are so difficult to get. There's 450,000 scholarships per year available in the NCAA across Division 1, 2 and 3. That's the three divisions you have. And so we break that down because that's not per year for one year, it's for the whole 4 years. So you've got to break this down into year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, because your freshmen are going to get a percentage of that and it continues for your whole 4 years. So really what actually is available is 112,500 scholarships per year on average, okay? So that's really important to know. It's not like there's 450,000 scholarships every single year. We'd love that if there was, we could help a lot more people. But really it's 112,500 scholarships available. Now, we next have to understand how many teams, how many universities are actually in the NCAA, right? We know there's different divisions, but now to get to the math, we have to understand how many universities there are. So across Division 1, 2, and 3, you have 1,042 universities across the whole of the US, from Florida, Cali, Arizona, New York. That's how many there are right now. Maybe next year they add a couple more, maybe some universities shut down, it happens, but that is exactly how many there are today. Plus 8 Ivy League schools, which are your Harvards, your Yales, your Princetons, all up in the northeast of the US. There's 8 of those, so that gives you 1,050. I made that mistake on the previous video, that's why I had to redo it. There's 1,050 universities in the NCAA, including Ivy League. So what we do now to understand how many scholarships there are per team is we are going to divide this number by this number, which gives us 107 scholarships, put there scholarships, per university. So every university on average has 107 scholarships to give out across all of its teams, okay? So teams being soccer, golf, track, basketball, football. Every university has a different setup. So most Division 1 programs will all have a football team or a basketball team because that's what brings the most money in for the university. And then we typically see a lot of teams have soccer teams, but some universities will have a track team, others won't, or some will have a golf team and others won't. But on average, each school is going to have roughly 20 teams on their university program. There's around 27 sports you can actually get a scholarship for, but you'll never see a whole university having all 27 sports. There's a reason for that. We'll go into that in later videos. It's called Title 9. I will explain to you that in a later video, but today we're focusing on the numbers. So, for those 107 universities, if we take the average 20 teams from track, golf, tennis, whatever it is, between men and female, you're looking at, you've got to do 20 divided by the 107. That will equal you 5.35 scholarships per team. So for track 5, soccer 5, American football 5. That's an average, because actually American football normally gets a lot more scholarships than say your golf team. So there's more players. So again, these are all the averages per the teams, but it's a good statistic to go with. Now, of that 5.5, you say basically it's 5, round off. 5 scholarships, say for a track athlete going to Florida State, you're one of 5 trying to get that scholarship. Now I want to explain to you how many people actually apply for these scholarships, and it's actually flabbergasting how many there is. Last year, for athletes who try to get into class of 2018, now we are still in 2018, but we obviously work a year ahead because we're looking for the athletes for future years. You have to do a thing called the NCAA clearinghouse, right, to get into the NCAA. Now last year for 2018 class, there was over 10 million athletes globally, including the US, who applied to do the clearinghouse, okay? So we're going to take that 10 million athletes, okay? So 10 million athletes. There isn't 10 million scholarships. We know that. There's 450,000 scholarships just in the NCAA. So there isn't enough for all of these kids. Now, some of these kids are 14, 15, 16, so the numbers, are not completely correct there, but there's still a lot of people that won't be getting these scholarships. Now, we looked into a bit more. We saw for the class of 2018, it was roughly 1% of that, 100,000 athletes were soccer players. We looked at the male athletes of soccer, 100,000 globally, including US, were looking for American soccer scholarships, okay? Now, we looked into the numbers again, and what we saw was, if we look at the average of soccer applications, we know there's 5 per team at 1,050 universities, 5 on average per soccer team. That's about 5. Okay, that gives us total soccer scholarships available, 5,250 soccer scholarships available for 2018 on average, okay? There's 100,000 people trying to get soccer scholarships in 2018. So what's the point of this message? Here's the point. If you haven't been proactive, if you haven't started this process early, you're going to be up against basically 95,000 athletes trying to get a scholarship like you. So you really got to be proactive in this approach. I'm going to give you an idea of when you should start next. But you're up against a lot of people just for one class, for one sport. And it's the same thing for American football. The numbers in American football are even higher. You've got golf, soccer, tennis, track, wrestling, swimming. Every athlete is in this 10 million, and you're up against more than one person. You're up against a couple 100,000 in some cases. So you've got thousands of people like you trying to get 1 of 5 scholarships for that class of 2018, 2019, 2020. So you really got to start this process early, and I'm going to explain to you the benefits of starting early right now. So what we always recommend to our clients we work with, we look at it like this, as like a graph. So if we say you're 13 years old now, you're 14, you're 15, you're 16, you're 17, that's really kind of like the dead point where you really want to make sure you've got something when you're 17 because you're running out of time. And we look at, say, that's where you go there, and you look at the scholarship percentage, the scholarship chance. If you start at 13 and you have a target, so let's say the target is UCLA, right? That's where you want to end up by 17. You want to get an offer or get some interest by that point so you can commit to a program. If you do nothing, if you literally just go about your day, you just do your routines, you have no plan, your progression is going to be like this, okay? You get a bit better every single year, you think you know what you're doing, you get to 17, you're nowhere near the target. When you start emailing coaches at, say, 16 and a half years old, and they're not writing back to you, you can't go back in time and develop your game plan. And we talk about this a lot at ASM, game planning. So look at the target, UCLA, and what do they require? What grades do they require? What sport level do they require? What tournaments do they want to see you compete in? So we develop this game plan so every year you can be hitting your your milestone targets to get to the point where they're going to want to recruit you. So every year you develop. To the time you get to 16 and a half years old, if you start at 13 or 14, these are good ages to start, your scholarship chance is going to increase massively because you're hitting the key milestones of what these universities are looking for. Also, they're going to see every single year development because we know what the milestones are. We know what these universities look for and looking to recruit. So if you're hitting these targets every year, we can backtrack, we can show them your development every single year to prove to them why you are worth a $50,000 scholarship, right? Or $30,000 or $60,000 scholarship per year. Why you should be that 1 in 5 athlete that gets that scholarship. If you don't take the right actions, you don't have a game plan, you just keep doing this, you're going to be way far behind and have thousands of athletes ahead of you. So you've got to develop a game plan. You've got to research which university you want to go to. What do they require? Who is in their team right now, and what did they do to get to that position? What grades did they have? What tournaments they play? What things did they win? Who recommended them? Right? So we know what these universities look for. We know the milestones you've got to take. You guys have got to figure this out and figure out if you're going to do this on your own, or you want to work with professionals like us and fast track your success to make sure you're going to hit those milestones. Because if you're not hitting them, you're going to re-change the game plan. So maybe UCLA isn't the target now, maybe it's going to be Florida State, or maybe UAB, or some different university that you're going to qualify for based on the progression pathway you've taken. So that's why it's really important to develop a game plan. Now, this is great if you're 13, 14, or 15 watching this, because you've got time to fix your plan. But what if you're 17 or 18 or 19 years old and you're like, I haven't even thought about this, I just thought about it now. Does this mean I can't go? No, it doesn't mean you can't go, but what you have to think about is you're going to have less choice, 100% for sure. Because universities are recruiting 2 to 3 years in advance and looking at their roster. So unless you've got exceptional results, it's going to be harder for you to get those big schools. You're going to have to take a different approach. Could be going to a Division II, could be going to a junior college, and then doing a transfer 1 or 2 years later. If you're lucky, the coach hasn't given out all their scholarships yet, and then that way you can still get in, but you really need some help fast tracking your success and know what to do and who to talk to progress down the line. So you've got to think of this ahead. If you are 15, I urge you to get started this process early. We do free evaluations here at ASM, so reach out to our team at asmscholarships.com. We'll give you a free evaluation, and we'll give you an idea of a game plan that you should do to get that scholarship. But if you're 17, 18, 19, we're going to help fast track you. So if you're down here and you're 16 and a half years old, or you're 17 and your goal's here, we're going to look at, okay, what did you do back here? What can we use milestone wise that ticks the boxes? How are we going to impress that coach to give you the scholarship? What do you have in your say stats that we can show? And if you're lacking stats, we got to change the game plan. The UCLA won't happen, or whatever big school it is. We're going to have to develop a junior college route, a D2 route, an NAIA route, and find a pathway to get you to your goal, to make that dream come true. So ASM, we're here to help. We do this for a living to help athletes. We've done it for over 10 years now. We've helped over 4,000 athletes in over 20 sports. We'd love to help you guys. If you're interested to get a free evaluation, go to asmscholarships.com. We'll talk to you and learn more about you and give you a really good idea, what's your plan of action. Guys, I hope that really helped. In the comments below, if you want to put some comments in there, questions, we'd love to help you guys fill those questions out. And again, thanks for watching and following our channel, and we'll see you next time for plenty more awesome content to come. Take care.